The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. I hope everybody's doing great. Give everybody a chance to kind of roll in here for a minute. Give me a chance to share my screen. Man, been a little while since we kind of went through some stuff with you guys. I've kind of been taking care of some business, so just kind of been a minute. But hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. We're back at it this morning. We're up and at it, ready to rock and roll. So I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, we got some interesting times to talk about. Some interesting things have happened since the last time I streamed. Lena, good morning. How are you? We've had a lot to talk about since the last time I streamed. Take a couple of days off, and it feels like the whole world of cryptocurrency has taken a turn here, and a lot of news has come out, and a lot of things have gone on. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of get after it this morning, and see what's up, and see what's going on. I bet Doc, I bet Doc to it today. You did. Is Doc back? I know he was on a cruise. Ken, good morning, or good afternoon to you, Ken. Good morning to me. How are you? I was just saying I've been gone for a couple of days. Had some stuff to take care of, but man, it seems like the whole cryptocurrency landscape has changed a little bit. So we're gonna have to talk about this. A lot going on with these banks, a lot going on with these stable coins, a lot going on in the whole world of cryptocurrency. So feels like I've been gone for a year since everything that's happened. So but the pre-market looks not so great today. The Dow's in the red, the S&P's in the red, the Nasdaq's in the green, but not too bad. So it looks like the 14th though, guys. Remember, today's the 13th. Tomorrow we have CPI data. We're gonna find out the inflation rates. Not the inflation rates. Yeah, we're gonna find out the rate of inflation. So whether it's coming down or going up, and that's going to drive a lot of the interest rate and hikes that are coming, whether we get 50 or 25 basis points. So keep in mind that's coming our way tomorrow. So make sure whatever we're doing, we're keeping that in mind. So, but yeah, the stock market definitely looks like it's going to open up in the red today. Definitely. Fear and greed index right now, it's in that neutral. I'm surprised it's at neutral, given everything that's going on. I would expected it to be in fear a little bit, but the market is starting to bounce back. Late yesterday and today, it looks like we're on the bounce back. So it did move up a little bit. Boy, you look at it, we're back above that trillion, 1 trillion, 10 billion. We fell below this trillion when I was off. We fell below this trillion. But looks like we're starting to regroup, come above that $1 trillion market cap, overall where we needed to be, where we need to be. Let's go ahead and look and see where, you see, this is the cliff here. You can kind of see the slow rise back up, overnight. You can kind of see the slow rise back up, and then we're leveling off here, but you can see the cliff where we were at, the 900 something billion. You can see that cliff, and we're starting to come back. We're starting to bounce back, but boy, it was bad for a little while. I was doing some stuff, and I was looking, and my phone kept dinging at me, and the market was pretty rough, man. It was pretty bad. I hope you guys protected yourself while I was gone. I hope you guys protected your assets. I hope you guys protected yourself while all this was going on. But looks like Bitcoin sitting around 22,076, down a little bit on the hourly, but obviously it's up 7% on the day. This thing was $19,000. At one point I looked at it. Ethereum is 1,500. 1,778. This thing was down to low 14,000. It's up 7% as well. We're gonna get into some of these stablecoin issues that we have going on. BNB is up to 296. This thing was around 270 something when I bought it the other day. We were rolling around 270 something down in here. 277 down in here. So you see it's on a nice steady rise up though. So the market is starting to recuperate itself. But man, it got really rough. XRP sitting at 35 cents. We do got some XRP news that we're going to go over today. Not really too happy with some news that came out about XRP. Some vague news. We can talk about that in a minute. Not just it's just crazy how some of this stuff unfolds. Polygon still sitting at, it's down. It's only up 3% on the day, but right now it's down, minuscule 0.9%, but it's only at $1.10. That's low for Polygon right now, but I'm not worried about Polygon regrouping itself. It will. But here, stablecoin DAI. Look at it's down to 98 cents. Like, it still hasn't regained its peg from when it lost its peg when this whole stablecoin market collapsed. So this is some of the stuff I want to talk about today is these stablecoins. Like DAI depeg hasn't gained its peg yet. And you know that it's tied to Tron, so it's that DAI's in trouble. I don't know how else to say it. It's in trouble. You come back up in here, and we're gonna look at USDC. It's still sitting at 98 cents. So to me, it still didn't regain its peg at 98 cents. If that's not 99 cents or $1, it's not repegged. So it lost its peg, and it still has yet to regain it. Even though they're saying it did, I don't know. You tell me. 99 cents to $1 to 98 was down to 97. So yeah, I don't know. You tell me whether or not that's repegged. I don't think so. Let's see. We're looking for. Let's go ahead and see where BUSD is at. It seemed to BUSD is the one who seemed to hold its peg through this craziness. Really the only one. BUSD and USDT were the only two to really hold their peg through all of this market crash. So Kronos is down to 6 cents. HSBC said earlier that that it paid just just for the Silicon Valley Bank UK arm. Yeah, I seen that. That it only paid for the UK arm, but when you look at it, looks like the United States wants to come in and play Captain Save 'em. So it looks like they're gonna bail them out. So we can go ahead, look at these crypto bubbles. You see they're in red. But yeah, these markets, guys. Let's go ahead and look at, see if I can pull up some of these stories. Right. So here we go. You have Genesis GUSD. DPEGs drops to 97.73 cents. They obviously had exposure to the Silicon Valley Bank. They depegged and still have yet to regain their repeg. So you have GUSD, USDT, USDC, Trump, DAI. All these stable coins are depegging, right? So here's an interesting thing I was reading this morning, and I couldn't agree more. Binance CZ speculates a coordinated effort to shut down cryptocurrency friendly banks. You look at Silicon Valley that just went under, and then you look at right before that Silvergate that just went under. Both of these were cryptocurrency friendly banks. They were the ones who gave the loans to the cryptocurrency companies, and then all of a sudden they both go under. They both they both go under. They both end up having to liquidate all their assets. Is this by accident? Probably not, right? So how do you have two banks go under at the same time that specialize in the same thing? I think CZ's calling out the elephant in the room here, and he's saying, look, it's a coordinated effort on cryptocurrency. They're really trying to bring cryptocurrency down the world, right? Because we're no longer talking about just the United States. These banks operated internationally. So is this a coordinated effort to bring cryptocurrency down, I guess? And CZ thinks it is. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. But, I don't think that they're going to be successful. But I think this is definitely a coordinated effort by multiple governments to bring cryptocurrency down. And this is kind of what CZ explains in this article, is that this is multiple governments. You even have New York City now suing Ethereum for being a security. U.S. officially considers bailing out all Silicon Valley Bank deposits. So this here is where the United States felt like it was important for them to jump in and bail out the Silicon Valley Bank depositors. This is where you look at these bailouts that happened in 2008 with the banks. You're starting to see the United States bail out Silicon Valley, but you notice that the United States isn't bailing out Silvergate, right? So what's the difference here? Well, in Silicon Valley, you had a lot of high profile people banking in there. Coinbase, BlackRock. You've had a lot of high profile people have their money in there. And Silicon Valley and Silvergate both specialized in startups and cryptocurrency. So what's the difference? Well, money's the difference. Silicon Valley had a lot of high profile people with a lot of cash. So when you look at it, so the United States is looking to bail out our depositors. So what does that mean? What does that mean for the United States, right? And the taxpayers here, well, ultimately we have to pay for that, right? So we're going to pay for this bailout for all the depositors. And right here, U.S. bankrupts. U.S. banks have over $620 billion in in unrealized loans, according to FDIC in Silicon Valley Bank. So you're looking at about a $620 billion bailout for Silicon Valley Bank, which is absolutely absurd to think that the government is about to pay $620 billion to bail out a bank that over leveraged itself and got into some bad investments. Damn, my screen ain't getting shared. Hold on, let me share my screen different. I'm going through all this stuff and I'm not even sharing my screen right. You guys didn't even tell me. You guys didn't even tell me I wasn't sharing my screen right. I thought I had the stories up there. But the U.S. bank here has over 620 billion in unresolved losses, according to the FDIC. So when you look at these for what they are, the United States this is about a $620 billion bailout for Silicon Valley Bank, who invested in cryptocurrency and startup companies that obviously didn't pan out, but ultimately the taxpayers are going to pay $620 billion. Yeah, Ken, you had me messed up. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. Excuse me. Yeah, I looked down at my screen. I'm like, man, I'm not even sharing my screen the right way. I'm on the wrong. It's sharing the wrong window. So, but it's all good. We just fix it and keep it rolling, right? And right here, here's something that I'm a little upset about: XRP and Ripple. And for those of you guys that are on here, you guys know that I'm invested in XRP. I love XRP, but this right here is craziness. So Ripple CEO confirms an undisclosed amount of cash in Silicon Valley Bank, right? So as an investor, how is it that we don't know what your exposure is to this bank, but we're supposed to keep investing like an undisclosed amount? No, we got to know. We got to know how much are you in the hole with this bank, and why isn't it an undisclosed amount? Everybody else has got their amount out there on the table, right? Everybody else is saying, how much they're exposed to Silicon Valley Bank, but all of a sudden Ripple just comes out and says an undisclosed amount. No, that's not good enough. Good morning, Elmo. Good morning. Glad you're with us, Elmo. But no, that's not good enough. Like, so Ripple just all of a sudden just comes out and says, yeah, we're going to tell you we have exposure, but we're not going to tell you how much. I mean, that's not cool. That's not good. That's not good for any investors. That's not good for the people that you're looking at saying that you want to invest in XRP and Ripple. Like, how is this okay, right? So when are we going to find out? And he goes through this whole article, and he never talks about when he's going to disclose how much money Ripple has tied up in the Silicon Valley case. And this could be significant. This could be a significant amount of money. It could be to the point where, we don't know how much Ripple has tied up in there. And as an XRP holder, as a big XRP holder and investor, I think we deserve the right to know that. So I don't know. You guys can tell me your thoughts, but I think that this has the potential right here to do some damage to XRP right here. Because if think about this, if this is where Ripple is holding the majority of their cash for their company, and I'm not saying they are, and I'm not saying they're not, but if they are, if this is where they're holding the majority, and then all of a sudden Silicon Valley goes under, what's that do for Ripple, right? where are you at? Where's Ripple at, right? So now you see where here it says the U.S. says that the Silicon Valley depositors will have access to their funds, and this is because they're bailing them out, right? This is because they're backing them up with the U.S. dollar. So yeah, they're going to guarantee depositors access to their funds, but they're not saying. I believe it's a 1-for-1, and where's the cap, right? What's the cap on that? What's the cap on them funds? Because I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be 100% of what you had invested. I mean, your money's only insured up to a certain point with the FDIC when you deposit your money in the bank. You want to be an issue for XRP. It won't be an issue for XRP. Everything that happens with Ripple is an issue for XRP. They will just sell more XRP to make up. Yeah, true. I mean, they could dump a bunch of XRP into the market to make up the difference. But when you start dumping XRP into the market, or you start to sell it off, what's that do for the price, right? As an investor, I want to know what that does for the price. What does that do for me, right? So if you start taking some out of the reserves and dumping it into the market, that's going to dump the price. If you start selling off what you own, what Ripple owns, to make up the difference, then guess what? You still start to release that in the market, and it still starts to affect the price. So either way for XRP holders, you could see a price drop. Yeah, it'll dump, Elmo. That's what'll happen. It'll dump, and that's what I'm saying is, like, the holders are going to end up paying the price for the investment that they made in Silicon Valley Bank, and ultimately there's going to be some fallout from this. They've been selling XRP on support for a long time. They have Ripple has been dunking XRP for a long time, and my thought is that a lot of it is to pay for the case. You're up until millions and millions and millions of dollars to fight this case. So my thought is that a lot of what they're dunking on us on is to pay for this case. But yeah, they definitely been selling on us for a long time, Elmo, and not a little bit either. They've been selling a lot of XRP, a lot. So again, we can continue on, right? Coinbase holds 240 million in Signature Bank. Expects to fully recover. So another bank, Signature Bank, who's in trouble. Here you have Coinbase holding 240 million in Signature, as Signature starts to go under as well, and they expect to recuperate all their funds, obviously, from a bailout. So here you have Coinbase, Coinbase had exposure to Silvergate. Coinbase had exposure to Silicon Valley, and now you find out that Coinbase also has exposure to Signature, right? So Coinbase literally has exposure to every single one of these banks that are in trouble. Aaron, good morning. So how much exposure does Coinbase really have out here in these banks? Like, I mean, you have to go through and add all this up. In Coinbase, I mean, man, come on. They're in trouble, with all their exposure. They got a lot of money sitting out here in these banks that are tied up. And here we go. HSBC acquires Silicon Valley Bank, UK arm, right? So people are going to read HSBC acquires Silicon Valley Bank, and they're going to think, oh my God, because this will be the headline. This is where it'll cut off, right? For a lot of articles, right? But you have to read further and say UK arm, right? So the Silicon Valley Bank, because it was a worldwide bank, HSBC only bought the UK arm of that bank. So the rest of this is sitting out there, right? There was bids that were supposed to be taken and closed on Sunday for the rest of the Silicon Valley Bank. So we got to see who's going to be awarded the bid for the United States arm, and a couple other arms of this bank that are sitting out there. Aaron, I'm glad you joined us this morning. So we have to figure out. Okay, so now we know HSBC is going to own the UK arm, but who's going to own the US arm, and who's going to own the other arms to Silicon Valley Bank, right? So that's yet to be determined, and hopefully, as people start to wake up this morning in the United States and around the world, we'll start to see some of these bids, and we'll start to see who wins the bid for the rest of these arms of the Silicon Valley Bank, if anybody bidded on it, right? That's the big if, right? I believe somebody will buy up these assets, but it's just a matter of who, right? So we have to wait and see. So what I'm telling you guys is, when you go back and you look at all of these stories, right? You look at all of these stories, you look at everything that's going on, your stable coins are in trouble, and I think it was, I might have pulled that article down. Yeah, I did. But CZ said it best, guys. This is a coordinated attack on cryptocurrency. Beaver Lumber, good morning. Glad you're with us this morning, Beaver. But this is definitely a coordinated attack on cryptocurrency. This you don't have banks going down that sit here and are all going down at the same time for no apparent reason. This is definitely a coordinated attack. If you haven't noticed, it's the it's the same players. It's the same players all the tied up. It's the same players tied up together all the time. It is the same players. It's Coinbase, it's Binance, it's all of the same big time players in cryptocurrency that are all tied up all at the same time, all of the time in these issues. And it's because they're slinging the most money around, right? So in order for these guys to be slinging this amount of money around all the time, they have to leverage their assets. And the only way that they're going to leverage their assets is to go to these banks that are cryptocurrency friendly or startup friendly, and continue to take loans out on their leverage, right? So these guys continue to get tied up into this mess, right? And it's a mess, and that's what it is. But these guys, I'm telling you, this thing's not done. A lot of people are going to think that this thing's done. This thing's not done. This thing's going to get uglier. I believe that. I believe that we're going to get a little bit uglier and uglier and uglier as we move along in this banking process, because I think it's a coordinated attack amongst a whole bunch of countries to try to bring down cryptocurrency, and they're going to try to bring down these banks. But if you notice, too, a lot of the bigger banks are starting to get into cryptocurrency as well. And what I think is they want these cryptocurrency. Here's my thought, right? They want the cryptocurrency friendly banks out of the banking industry. The world does. because they want these bigger banks to be able to control the flow of money in and out of crypto to these cryptocurrency exchanges and big cryptocurrency players, because they can control the governments around the world can control these big banks. So that means that they can control the amount of money that flows in and out of them, because none of these big companies can operate without leveraging some sort of money to keep their business going or to expand. So so when you think about it, the governments are really starting to step in and really start to leverage these banks, and they want these smaller banks out of here because they're able to leverage this money and allow these cryptocurrency projects to grow. We're just at the Elmo, we're just at the beginning. This is just the start of what's about to come. So we knew that regulation was coming, but to actually take this part of regulation and actually go after these banks and basically shut these banks down, this isn't regulation. This is manipulation. Going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, Elmo, before it gets better. I think it'll get better. Aaron, I'm sorry. Aaron, you're right. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But I think we're starting to get a lot of some of these nonsense players out of the way. And unfortunately, like Silicon Valley and Silvergate was always that question. But Silicon Valley being, this is really the first time I've ever heard of Silicon Valley when all this happened. I think there's some collateral damage like Silicon Valley that's going to happen. But I think it's going to get worse. And this is why I don't see that bull run coming in 2023, because I think we're going to be going through this all year. As the march towards CBDC speeds up. You're right, Ken. CBDCs are going to play a big role in this because, when you look at it, CBDCs are going to be the currency. They're going to be what happens in a lot of these countries, and it's going to be the only currency you're going to be able to onboard and offboard into banks. And it's going to be CBDCs are going to change the banking game. Destroy crypto friendly banks. Yeah, they will. CBDCs will destroy the cryptocurrency banks can. But CBDCs are going to change the way that we bank in cryptocurrency. They're going to change the way that we onboard and offboard all of our cryptocurrencies. And I want you to think about it for a second. So your country comes out with a currency, right? And what do you think the only currency that the banks are going to accept for onboarding and offboarding money? They're only going to accept that CBDC, right? And this is how they're going to track you. This is how they're going to track how much money you're moving and where you're moving it and how you're moving it and all this stuff, right? So, CBDCs are coming and we're not going to stop them. We're not going to, they're not going to be stopped. They're already in the works. Governments are already starting to roll them out. I strictly believe that the UK will probably be the first ones to roll out a CBDC. I think that they're ahead of everybody else. I think that they're going to be number one. And I think they're going to show how they can track people and how they can move these CBDCs around to banks and make them really bank friendly. And then I think everybody else is going to jump on board and start rolling them out fast. But I do think I do think Europe, UK, they're going to be the first ones. Glad MMAI has a connection with South Korea. Me too. Aaron, me too. I'm glad that MMAI has their connections in South Korea because I think with the technology advances in South Korea where they're at, the regulations that are coming, the team that's built around MMAI, and the things that they're doing, I believe one, they're ahead of the game when it comes to technology. Two, they have the team that you don't have to worry about whether or not cryptocurrency is a security or commodity because they're going to be able to comply with them both. And three, they have the team in NS Labs in South Korea and everybody else that is able to build things based on regulations that are compliant, and they're also able to adapt to change as it comes their way because they have a team of people that can adapt to the change and make the changes. So I think that they're in a prime position to really be able to make moves based on what comes their way, because we all are just kind of predicting what's going to come our way, but nobody really knows. But they're able to adapt. Elmo, we all know they if they can't control it, then they'll destroy it. They will. But I think that Elmo, you're right. The governments, if they can't control it, they'll destroy it. But I think that they want cryptocurrency. I think there's so much money in cryptocurrency, or so much money waiting to come into cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology is getting to be so advanced that it's going beyond cryptocurrency, that they want to control it so bad. And even the banking system itself, because they know that their banking system is obsolete. They know that the way that they move money is obsolete, and they know that cryptocurrency can change all of that for them. That's why you have the ISOs 2022 and all that stuff. So I think when all of you look at all of this together, they know they can't stop it, so they're trying to control it. Crypto for me, and just being on the front line is great. And as long as my plays are validated and provide financial freedom. You know what, Selma? That's right. And that's how I feel too. Like, here's the thing, like cryptocurrency for me, I look at it as a way to be able to be financially free, at some point, in a way to be able to change wealth for people, right? And if that brings some regulation with it, then so be it. If that brings some pain and suffering with it, like we're in right now, so be it. But I think that because we're in this thing so early, and we're in this thing so, I hate to use the word so early, because every cryptocurrency uses you're in so early, but you really are. So I think just being on the front lines of that, being in when we're in, being on the front lines, going through the battles, going through the scars, coming out on the right side of that, I think we'll build that generational wealth, we'll build that freedom. And I think, I'm just excited to be on the front lines. You think about 10 years from now, when people are talking about it, and they're saying, oh my God, it becomes so mainstream that people are talking about cryptocurrency and spending cryptocurrency, and they don't even look at it as crypto. They look at it as regular money, or dollars, or technology, right? And you can say, you were on the front lines of helping build that, advocating for building that. So I'm excited to be on the front line for that. So I'm with you, Selma. I'm with you on that. So let's see where we're at as we move on. Looks like the market's dropping a little bit. Not too bad. Just a tiny bit, just like a tiny pullback. Nothing really even to blink at. 2 billion since we were talking. The market lost 2 bill, which could be trouble depending on how everything else looks. Well, looks like we're all in red, so it doesn't look like the stock market's getting any better either. But I'll tell you guys my plan for today is I'm going to do nothing today. I'm not going to buy a thing today. I don't care where the market goes. I'm not buying anything. Because tomorrow we have the CPI data that comes out on the 14th, right? And we just had the jobs data that came out. And the jobs data came in hot, man. It was way better than expected. Unemployment is way lower than what's expected. Created a lot more jobs than what's expected. So with that, I'm expecting the CPI data to come in hot too, because if people aren't losing their jobs and we're creating jobs, right, then that means people are still spending money, right? So that means inflation is still going to be higher. And if you look at February's and if you look at January's numbers that came out in February, and then you turn around and you look at these numbers that are coming in March, which are February's numbers, they look like they're hot, right? So everybody was baking in a 25 basis point rate increase, for a long time. And now you're starting to hear more and more people say 50, 50, 50, 50, right? It's going to be 50 in my opinion. And you're going to see a dip in the market when that happens initially. But remember, at the end, and this comes at the end of the month when they do the actual interest rate increase, it's never the interest rate increase that'll crash the market or make the market move. It's the press conference after. It's what Powell says after about the future of what they're going to do. And at this particular meeting, because I want you guys to see what I see and interpret it how you guys want to, but I just want to give you guys the information. At this particular meeting, this is where they're going to go back in and they're going to think about, and they're going to start to talk about where they think each person on the board thinks that the internal terminal interest rate needs to be in order to curb inflation, right? So if that internal terminal interest rate is higher than what it was the last time that they met on this, which I believe was December, could have been wrong. I could be wrong. Could be January. But if it's higher than the last time that they met on this, and they start talking about that in the press conference, that means that there's more interest rates to come. There's more pain in the market to come, and you're going to see the markets dip. And you're not going to get that until the press conference, right? And you're really not going to get the full effects of that until the meeting minutes come out from that meeting. So there's a couple of things that are lining up that you got to pay attention to in this market that could either make this market take off or make this market dip, right? So if I did buy a little bit of this dip as it was way down when Bitcoin was at 19 and Ethereum was sitting at 13. But now it's to the point where I'm not going to buy any more, right? Because I want to see where this meeting is. I want to see where this meeting goes. I want to see what comes out of this meeting. And we'll know that tomorrow. And well, we won't know that tomorrow, but we'll know what the inflation data is tomorrow. And at the end of the month, we'll know what comes out of this meeting. But you can gauge a lot by the inflation data. If the inflation data comes in hot and it comes in where inflation's not going down anywhere near what's expected, you can pretty much say to yourself that there's going to be multiple rate increases that are going to follow that in order to bring down inflation. So you got to be able to make these judgments, and that's basically what you're going to see. So I mean, you're not going to keep giving out 25 basis point rate increases, and inflation keeps going up, and you're not, basically the government's job is to lay people off, and you're not laying them off, then you're not making any progress. So you have to raise interest rates in order to get that done. So that's kind of what you guys what I'm watching out for, and that's why I'm not buying anything today at all. I don't really care how low the market goes today. I shouldn't say that, because there's always a buy point. There's always a buy zone. But I doubt that the market's going to get low enough today to hit my buy zone before this data comes out tomorrow. So that's kind of my plan and where I'm going with it. So we're going to see what happens with the CPI data. I believe it's coming in hot. I believe it's going to come in hot. I believe it's going to come in way higher than expected, based on everything else that's come in. I think it's going to come in hot. So and the market's going to react to that, because remember, the market's always forward looking. The cryptocurrency market and the stock market, they're not looking at what's going on right now. They're always looking at what's going on later. They're forward looking. So yeah, but it's not looking too great today, guys, for the stock market or crypto, to tell you the truth. It's looking like we may have hit that 22,100, 22,200 might be it for Bitcoin today. And this 15.9 to 15.7 might be it for Ethereum today. And I wouldn't expect BNB to break 300. But watch these stable coins, guys. So on this one, it looks like USDT has repegged itself at 99 cents. But they did bust out a lot of reserves. So this could be the reserves. Pay attention to XRP, who's tied up in the Silicon Valley fiasco for an undisclosed amount. What is this going to do to the price over the next 24 to 48 hours? Elmo, there's your hex. Sitting at 7 cents, 7.5 cents. Looks like it's up just a little bit on the 24 hour. Always like to tell Elmo where his hex is. Polygon seems to be coming out of this hole a little bit, but right here, you look at Binance's USD. It looks like it's held its peg through this whole thing, guys. This is one of the stable coins that, through this whole mess, seemed to hold its peg. Hex doing great. It is, Elmo. I didn't get in early enough, I'm telling you. I did not get in early enough, man. I don't know if I would have staked it away, though. Solana's under $20 again. But here's DAI too. On this one, it looks like DAI is back up to 99 cents. See, it's just a matter of which one you think is more reliable, right? Because with CoinMarketCap, you have USD sitting at it is back up to 99 cents. Did DAI just regain its peg on here? 98.9. So it may just have regained its peg on here as well. So some of these are starting to regain their peg, but that doesn't mean that I'd be throwing money in them either. So if these stable coins they're not so stable, right? I mean, they seem to be repegging a little bit more and more. So I would stay away from stable coins at this point until this whole thing shakes out. I wouldn't put money, I wouldn't keep my money in any of these stable coins, whether it's Tether, whether it's USDC, whether it's BUSD, uh, GUSD. I wouldn't keep my money in any of these stable coins right now. There's too many questions. Still early, Daniel. Hex to $2 in a few months. I have a price point for Hex. I told you that, Elmo. I have a price point for Hex. So if this market really dips to where I think it's going to go, and it really falls down to where I think it's going to fall down in the next couple months, Hex might be at my price point, because I don't see any of this taking off. These guys doing yard work out here. I don't see any of this taking off in the next couple of months. There's nothing that I see that's going to take off in the next couple of months. I think we're in that, actually the whole year. I think we're going to be in accumulation phase the whole year. Will there be gains to be made? I think so. I think there's going to be gains to be made. I just don't think that we're in a big, huge run. I don't think anything's going to take off, because I think as soon as something takes off, there's going to be something in the market that pushes it down in 2023. So I'm literally looking to load up every bag I have. And if Hex gets to this price point, my buy point, I'm putting it in my short-term bag. I'm not staking it. I'm not sacrificing it. I'm not doing any of that. Any of that stuff that's going on over there that I don't understand. But what I do understand is that this has the potential to take off. So my price point, and I'll buy in. I'll buy into my short-term bag. Remember, you will get a free airdrop of your Hex the okay blockchain. When the Pulse chain's not out yet, Elmo. I've been so much out of the Hex news. I wasn't sure if Pulse chain came out or not. I didn't think it did. I didn't think Pulse chain came out yet. So let's get into a little bit of what we got going on for our schedule this week. Well, actually today, there's a busy schedule today. I have an AMA with, okay, not yet. All right, that's what I thought. So I'm waiting for this thing to dip before Pulse chain comes out, and then Pulse chain will make a run, and then it'll probably dip back down. So I have an AMA today with Encircle, which is it's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I have we're gonna go over that. That's a project that's not even launched yet. It's still actually gaining funds. So it's a project that's kind of been hovering out here for a little while. It's not launched yet. Going to pre-sale pretty soon. And then tomorrow we'll do a live, and then tomorrow night we'll do Twitter Space. We'll do our live in the morning. We'll do Twitter Space at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably talk a lot about this, a lot about this banking situation, a lot about this cryptocurrency situation, and a lot about what's coming up. Anything that comes up in the news the next 2 days, which the news seems to be flying all over the place. So we got that Twitter Space on Tuesday at 6:30. but we'll do this. We'll do the morning show again on Tuesday. We'll do the 6:30 Twitter space on Tuesday. On a Wednesday, I probably won't stream in the morning. I'll probably stream a little bit later on in the night because I'm traveling on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we'll be back on our regular schedule. But today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have an AMA with Encircle here on this channel. And then tomorrow, it'll be morning show and then Twitter space. And then it'll be regular schedule morning show time and then Twitter space at 6:30 p.m. I'll set Twitter space up this morning. I'll get it out on Twitter so that all you guys know and can set your reminders. But with that, guys, it's 9 p.m. So I'm going to let you guys go. Almost as V3 testing. Okay, so they're almost ready. If Hex is in V3 testing, they're almost ready. That's like days away. They're almost there. Tim, hey, we're wrapping up, but Tim, I wanted you to get on here because before we go, Tim, I wanted you to get on here because I need to make sure that you are a mod on the channel. So I am glad you got on here. But how you doing today, Tim? How are you? How are you doing? You're making me log in. Tim, you're making me log into my to my notepad right now. I didn't even have it pulled up. Where's Elmo? There's Elmo. So all right, so Tim, I just took care of you. Tim, I just took care of you. I've been waiting for you to come on here. You living that dream, Tim? I'm living that dream too. Living that dream, brother. But yeah, we were kind of Tim. We're just kind of talking about this whole stablecoin situation this morning, and this whole market and this stablecoin and these banks and what's going on with these cryptocurrency banks. So it's just been a conversation. It's been I haven't streamed in a couple of days, so it feels like I've been out of it for a month with everything that's going on. It's like a nonstop. You can make me a moderator. I just did, Elmo. I just did. When I pulled it up, I just did. So you should see it, Elmo. If you can, I can't see it, but if you can, let me know. I want to take care of that. Yeah, I did. You should be good, Elmo. Tim, you should be good. Elmo, you should be good as well. So, but yeah. So with that, guys, I'm gonna work my way out of here. It's 9, so I'm gonna work my way out. But Elmo, I'm waiting for you to tell me whether you can or you can't see it. Got it. All right, no problem. All right, that's good. He's good. All right. Thanks, Tim. So, yeah, I just want to let you guys know. Thank you guys for spending the morning with me. Appreciate it. Tonight, 6:30, in Circle AMA. We're gonna talk about the project. Gonna see what it looks like. And we're gonna see what the devs say. And we're going to do that. And then we are going to do a Twitter space tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. But we will do the morning stream. But I'm gonna set the Twitter space up this morning, so tomorrow we'll get at it at 6:30 like we usually do on Tuesdays. So with that, guys, I'm out. You guys have a great morning. I'll see you guys around the chats. Have a great Monday. Be safe. Stay away from stable coins, and pay attention to this news that's coming out. And tomorrow we have CPI data, guys. So take that information for what it's worth. Tomorrow CPI data, and that will drive the market. So have a great day.